Hi, my name is Mike Mullin. I'm a delegate from the Virginia House of Delegates here in Newport News, Williamsburg, James City County, and York County. You know, my favorite thing that Sister District was able to do was the postcard campaign. I was knocking on one door, and I actually had a woman who came up and she stopped me in the middle of my little spiel, and she wanted to tell me that she had a postcard that was handwritten on her refrigerator, and she brought it out and showed me. And that was the most amazing experience to be able to see that not only did that was that something that registered with her, but it was something that she cared enough to be able to keep until she actually was able to meet me face to face. We got to 49 seats in the House of Delegates to 51 on the Republican side, and when we were in 34, we were effectively irrelevant. And so there was no reason that the other side was going to reach out to us on anything, because if they wanted to do it, they could. And so there were some incredibly partisan pieces of legislation that were coming through on a regular basis that we just didn't see this year, which is remarkable. I was the chief co-sponsor in a bill that was able to raise the felony larceny threshold in Virginia from $200 to $500, which is our first raise in my lifetime. And what that means is that Virginia, which was the worst state in the union when it comes to larceny threshold, is now right in the middle of the pack for the first time. Virginia also experienced a great moment when we had cannabinoid oil. We were able to legalize that in Virginia for the first time. So now we in the General Assembly have gotten out of the business of deciding what are or are not the best medical procedures to use cannabinoid oil. Come July 1st, we have to pass a budget. And I am confident that not only are we going to do that, but I truly believe that we are going to be able to, for the first time, get beyond the partisan politics and get to the process of being able to provide healthcare to 440,000 Virginians. And man, if I do nothing else in politics, wouldn't that be the best thing in the world to be able to walk away and say you did? Not only was it a blue wave in Virginia, but it was a female wave in Virginia. And so we dramatically changed the dynamics in the House of Delegates. We had women who were breastfeeding for the first time on the floor of the House. And it was the coolest thing you've ever seen in your life, because there were a lot of, more elderly members who were like, sort of had a weird look on their face, well, this is not the House of Delegates that I was ever expecting. But you know what? It shouldn't be. We should be able to have a government that's representative of the real people who are working moms, who are from communities of color, people who are not necessarily the same bald white male attorney that I happen to be. I work as a criminal prosecutor. I've devoted my career to being able to keep our community safe. And so I'm sort of in a different position than many other Democrats in that I'm working in the law enforcement community in our day-to-day lives, as opposed to just being up in Richmond. And so much of what I do is about protecting victims of domestic and sexual violence. And so I had a number of bills this year, more than a few that actually got passed, that were focused on that. I ended up passing 4 bills this year, which I was particularly proud of. We have one of the largest human trafficking problems in the country, in the greater Hampton Roads area. What we had done as part of a longer study was notice that there were some particular crimes that when somebody was charged with it, they would post a bond and then for the person that they were abusing, and then get them out of the area. And so if you were charged with a couple of crimes like prostitution or some others, someone was going to post a bond for you, and then they were going to move you to New York. And so we changed the law this year. I had a bill in that I was particularly proud of. And as of July 1st, that's not going to happen again here in Virginia. And if it saves one life from a future of sexual slavery, then I would hope that we'd be able to do that. On the state level, you have an opportunity to be able to change lives. We are where the rubber meets the road when it comes to how government interacts with its citizens. This is an opportunity to not only just change our politics, but change our lives. And if you have a moment to be able to spend, whether it's going to be to write a note card to somebody on a faraway state, whether that's to be able to donate, or whether that's to be able to make those important phone calls, which really worked so well in so many of the races here in Virginia, it is something that is not going to just change your life. It's going to change the lives of so many of your fellow citizens.